Hey everyone, welcome to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, and games and more. And I got a review for today. Today I'll be reviewing Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder, and then later on to be directed by Joss Whedon after the devastating suicide from Zack Snyder's daughter. So, Justice League. First of all, here's the answer to the question that everybody wants to know. Is this movie really good? It's not, but it's not so bad either. Like, the movie is, as best as I can put it, okay. You know, it's just okay. You know, obviously there are some issues with this film. This film is a little choppy at times and is a bit messy because there's so many characters involved. And putting characters in a 2-hour film is quite difficult because you want to try to flesh out as many characters as possible. And since WB only mandated the film to be only 2 hours, it kind of makes this movie feel kind of crunched up. Tonality wise, it's not very consistent. However, there is more of a brighter tone throughout this movie, and it's really felt here. And I think that's mostly thanks to Joss Whedon, because Joss Whedon adds a lot of, you know, humor and colorful tones and bright tones through his movies, like in the first Avengers film. So this movie is a lot better than, let's say, Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad, and maybe not even as good as Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman is still the best film in my opinion of all the films in the DCEU at this time. Justice League, what I liked about it is that there was a lot more humor implemented. They seem to be listening to the critics that criticized like the other films like Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad and everything, that everything was too dark and way too serious and just messy. I can say that tonality wise, I think DC and Warner Brothers has learned their lesson with this movie, and they did listen to some of the feedback that was given for Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. But the thing is that it still needs a lot of work, and I think it's a little too soon for Justice League to be released. More movies should have been released prior to Justice League. Let's say like a Flash movie and a Batman movie, and maybe even an Aquaman movie should have been released, because this movie, what it does, it really sets the stepping stones for the other movies that are going to be coming out, like say the Flash movie and Aquaman. And this movie really tries hard in doing it, and when you're introduced to, like, let's say said characters like the Flash and Aquaman, it's just boom, here it is, here's the character, and boom, we cut to this, and all of a sudden they're part of the team. There wasn't much of a sense of conflict between the group of people. We didn't get that, just like versus the Avengers, and pardon me for comparing it with the Avengers, but that's the only other superhero team up that I know of that I can compare it to, besides Suicide Squad, but if you count them as superheroes. But this movie lacks the sense of urgency because the villain of the film, Steppenwolf, isn't really all that great of a villain. He's just there to do bad guy stuff. And I won't get into spoilers because this is a spoiler-free review, so because the movie just premiered today. You know, overall, the movie was decent. It did improve upon some of the critiques that the other films in the DCU did receive. It did a little bit better as far as tonality wise, and for the most part, I believe, if I had to say a character that shouldn't have been in the film, would be Cyborg, because I think Cyborg is a character that should be introduced later, maybe post Teen Titans. If there is a Teen Titans movie that's coming out, I think he should have been introduced later, and have Green Lantern be swapped for Cyborg. Overall, I had a pretty decent good time with the movie. There's huge action set pieces, there's a lot of CGI, especially with the main villain. A lot of CGI work on him, and it kind of came across as distracting, and it made it feel like he wasn't really there. So if you don't know by now, Superman is in this film, and one of the most distracting things in the movie is that his mustache has been CGI'd out of the film, so it looks a little funny at times. If you don't pay attention to it, then you won't really notice it, but if you do pay attention to it too much, then it can become a little distracting. I gotta say, Barry Allen's The Flash was the best part of the movie. He was the funniest, the comedic relief. He really felt like the kid of all these superheroes, like these big time superheroes. Aquaman, I didn't really like him. He would say things that like the original real Aquaman wouldn't say in the comic books or in the Justice League animated TV series. And Cyborg just felt like I felt like he didn't have to be there. His story should have been saved for later. Wonder Woman was fantastic, and Batman was awesome as usual. Ben Affleck does play a good Bruce Wayne and Batman, and I don't know what the hell is going on with this issue, whether he's going to be coming back for future movies or so. Let's just hope he does, maybe for another 2 or 3 films. I had a pretty decent time with it. The movie is a little choppy. It can be a little over convoluted at times, and I don't think 2 hours justifies this movie. If anything, it should have been 2 hours and 20 minutes to 2 hours and 30 minutes tops. Hopefully we'll get a director's cut, and maybe we'll just get a better Justice League movie with a director's cut if it does come out on Blu-ray. I'm going to give Justice League a B-. Well, that was my review for Justice League, guys. Hopefully you liked that review. Did you go see that movie? Let me know what your thoughts are on the film in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.